Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Java Android, and today we'll be learning more about the final keyword what we have learned earlier in my previous video. And if you are new to this channel or new to this video, I'll be sharing the link in the description so that you can have a look into the previous video where we discussed more about the final keyword. Alright, so today's video will be a continuation of the previous video, and today we'll be learning more about the final class and immutability class or immutable class. Then we'll also get to know about what the existing final classes in Java library, and also we'll get to know about the final keyword role in interface. So as this video is a recommendation from one of my subscribers, so thank you for that, and let's get started. Let's get started. So before proceeding into the coding, let's understand what is final and immutability. Well, final in Java is a modifier or keyword which is used for class, methods and variable also. Where you can declare a variable as final, you cannot modify its value. It becomes a constant. Whereas in immutability, when you define it, it means you cannot change, or you won't be able to change the value. You won't be able to change the objects. That means we cannot change anything to the existing object. For example, strings. String objects are immutable. So basically we can say that final is referred about the reference variable where we cannot change, and in immutability where the objects cannot be changed. Well, let's understand this with the help of an example. So I'll create a class. So here I have created a class in the name of struts, and you can see that I'm creating an object of string buffer class here, string buffer by making a reference as final. You can see over here, and here, though it is final, we are able to change the value. Like we are able to perform any kind of changes here. Let me comment down this one, and let me first print this value. When I run this, you can see I am getting a value printed over here, that is Java, where we have declared here. So by using one of the method of string buffer, I have printed it into developer, and let's run it, and you can see it will be printing Java developer. So we can perform any changes even though the reference variable SV is final here. But yes, we cannot reassign this value. For that, let me try this. I can print this, and you can see we cannot reassign it. As you can see, we are getting a compile time error. So because reassignment is not possible for final variable, so we're getting this kind of error. So we can say that final modifier is applicable for variable but not for objects, whereas immutability applicable for an object but not for variables. So let's continue how to build an immutable class. I have already created here. Let me go back there. Alright, so let's discuss how to create an immutable class. Well, the very first step is you have to make it as a final one. You have to make the class final, and I have taken a class name as immutable class. And the second step is you have to make the instance variables as private and final as well. Why final? because if we will discuss later. Let's go with the third step, and the third step is there should not be any setter method, because if we go for any setter method, then we will be able to change the value, we'll be able to change object. So we are not having a setter method here. So we declared the getter methods for our instance variables, and here is our main method where we'll be able to show our values, where I have assigned any arguments for the integer id 23 and for the string name is Java. Let me print those values. Alright, so I dot string, it was I dot name, I'm sorry, name, print those, and you can see as the number of the arguments we have passed, same arguments are getting showed over in our console. So let's move on, like why I have declared this as a final. If I don't declare it as final, I'll be able to change the value of id or name over here. Let me show it. I dot id equal to, I can write 78, and you can see it is getting changed, and when I run it, you can see in the console it's written, in the console you can see it was written 78 and Java. So we are able to change the value, but when I mark it as final, and you will see there will be an error over here. Well, let's see this. By default in immutable class, the integers and the wrapper classes are by default immutable. So the challenge comes when we take an immutable variable over here. So let's take an immutable variable and let's check about the immutability. Alright, so I'll take a immutable variable. For example, I'll take date. And I'll mention the constructor. Well, if we do this step, not recommended, first I'll write, because if we do this state, then we make the variable as muted, so it's not recommended to do this kind of step. So it's always recommended to create a new instance. So we'll create a new instance for our date field. Always we need to create the instance. Now let's create the get method for our new instance variable, which is immutable one. Alright, it's created over here. Now, this is also not recommended because using this we will be able to change the value. So we always have to return the instance we have created. Return the instance. And the get time method. Alright, so it is the important point to be noted is always return the instance for muted objects. So this mutable. Alright friends, so till now you have understood about the immutable class and what are the steps required to make a immutable class. First is you have to make it as a final, then second is you have to make them as private and final, because if you make it as a public, then someone from the outside will be able to change the value. Then you have to have a only getter methods, no setter methods is recommended. Then you have to, in the main method, like you have to be very cautious about how you are declaring the mutable Java objects. You have to give them create new instance you have to create for your mutable objects, and always return the instance of the mutable objects. So this is all about the immutable class, where you won't be able to change the object. So this is all about the difference between the final and the immutability. Hope you understand. So let's move into the other section where we'll be knowing that what are the final classes available in our core Java library. Let's move on to the next part. So let's know about the existing final classes in Java library. So in the Oracle document, we'll learn about the package java.lang. We'll read this document. You can see there is a lot of details, descriptions about the class summary. You can see over here. So by default, all the wrapper classes are final class in Java library. So how you can check over here. I'll click it one, the boolean one, and you can see it is mentioned as the final class. So these are the inbuilt final classes in Java library. All the wrapper classes are, and here is one more. The class is again, the instance of the class is again a final. You can see over here. Next we have the compiler as well, and you can see here it is a final class. Then we have string, also a final class. You can see over here this is a final class. So with this package we can get to know like what are the inbuilt final classes, and system is again one of them. So basically we can go through this document and we can have a very good idea about what are the inbuilt final classes in our Java library. So this is all about the second question, like what are the inbuilt Java library, inbuilt final classes in our Java library. Let's move like what is the role of final keyword in interface. Let's move to the the role of final in interface is you cannot make the interface as final, because if you make so you won't be able to extend it, and you won't be able to use the methods which are declared in an interface. So for that reason we cannot make the interface as final, and by default the interface variables are static and final, so that we won't be able to change them or we won't be able to reassign them. So this is all about the role of final in interface, and hope you guys liked the video. And if you like the video, do click on the like button and subscribe it if you are very new to this channel. And if you've already subscribed it, thank you so much. And if you have any other recommendations or you have any kind of doubts, so do comment down below so that I'll make a video and will share it as soon as possible. So till then, thank you so much and happy coding.